Hello, Real Life with Love fam. I know I look like I'm having so much fun, only because I am, only because Mia is here. Because I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I am in shit eating pain right now. Okay, I'm just telling you. Okay, I want to thank everybody too for getting on and wishing me well for my surgery Monday. It went well. Dude went in, he cleaned out my knee. You guys all heard my story. Maybe you didn't. Okay, it was a sexually related incident. My husband and I were doing things that my doctor, my orthopedic surgeon said, well, you're not 20 anymore. What the fuck does that mean? Okay. Anyway, he said we can't be hanging from chandeliers and stuff anymore. so, so anyway, I ended up having a little bit of an accident, and then I had to go have surgery Monday. And I can't believe I'm even up right now, but I'm only up because today is Mia and tomorrow is Marilyn Porter, ME. And I'm just so excited about having both of them on there. This year, one of the things that we're really graduating to with Agape Intelligence, I always add and evolve Agape Intelligence every year. And one of the things that we're adding on to our workshops and courses is power. We don't empower anybody, because I'm going to just tell you guys it's a whole bunch of bullshit. Empowering is something different than going in there and getting the power that you already have. And you as women were built especially with a fantastic abilities and powers. Okay. So empowering means I got to go and help you find it from somewhere else. And we get these things all the time where in our cultures, in our diverse religions, in our diverse societies, where we're told that, you know, we're supposed to be quiet, we're supposed to be demure, we're not supposed to curse. And you guys know what I do on here. I do what's called intelligent cursing, intellectual profanity. Okay, because I believe I should be able to say whatever the hell I want, just like any man can. And I'm not asking for permission to be me. I'm me. And that's the way it is. Now, power is about the ability to have influence. Something that we really do learn as young ladies and girls and women is that we're supposed to be strong. And we are. We're strong, right? Because we could do all kinds of stuff and still be resilient, still come back, get knocked down, get back up. That's all good. That's strength, right? But power has to do with your ability to influence the behaviors of other people. And that's what you're looking at. Me, a powerful woman. So I'm asking you to join me, and I am even going to teach you how. So one of my special guests here today, she is our resident therapist, and I'm so glad she's back, is Mia Q. She's a licensed clinical social worker now. I'm so proud of her. God, yay! And I'm not gonna sit here and expound on Mia. Mia's been on a radio show before, and guess what? We're not only going to have a TV show, but we're also going to have a radio show too, because we have a new radio station. Shut the front door. That's right. Supersonic Radio 1, baby. It's coming to a radio near you. Not even your radio, your podcast, baby. Okay, so here we have Mia. She is going to introduce herself to you. And Mia, I want you to tell me what's going on with you, baby. Missing you. What up? Hi.
Hi. Thank you, love. It's wonderful to be here. It's always great to hang out with you, whether it be in person or on the radio, or now I get you live right here on my computer. Yahoo! So
that's right, TV baby.
Huh?
TV baby.
Woo! Woo! Yes, this is wonderful. So Lev and I have known each other for a while, and we've been through some things, working together, and we, being those powerful women that Lev just talked about, have been through a lot of diversity, and it's really nice for us to be able to share the different things that we've come through, and I do mean come through, but it's really nice to be able to talk about our successes, our challenges that we've had throughout time. And so Love, wanted me to tell you what I have been through, what I have experienced, and I am a licensed clinical social worker. I work in Merced, California, a little town in Central Valley, which I really love. I was born and raised here. I have my own practice, which is called Counseling Merced. And I'm also a sociology and human services professor at Merced College. I started my practice like August, and it's been very nice to be able to work in private practice by myself and be able to work with clients. My niche is working with children, and as well as women that are going through different transitions in their lives. And I was one of those women, and I think that because I've come through what I've come through, I don't know that I'm a success story by any means, but I think I definitely have the experience to be able to do that. So it's been a transition for me to go through what I've gone through. And I just love the ability to be able to help others and make a difference in other people's lives. So, yeah.
So, you know what, Mia? I want you to, because you have gone through so much, and are you a success story? I'd say if you are a woman of any age, you are. Because
I'm
we
what?
do. If we're a woman of any age, we are, because we go through so many things. We really do. And you especially have done some incredible things in the last couple of years. And I'd like to discuss how, well, I'd like for you to discuss how women can overcome adversity, because we go through this, like you said, so many life changes. Just being a woman, and you can attest to this. We have so many hormonal changes and different things going on with our complicated body. And it really, it's not just hormonal changes in the sense of our sex hormones, but I'm talking about our minds too.
Definitely. Definitely.
And the things that we have to do, because I keep telling us as women that we have 2,000 to 5,000 more genomes than men do. So that means that we can do 80 highly processed things at one time, when men can do like 3 or 4 at one time. So
Isn't that the truth?
yeah,
I hate to, this is not a bashing of men, but, I'm like 14 steps ahead, and, men around me say, really? Like, why are you even thinking that? And I'm like, oh, well, because we need to think that far ahead. It's the social worker in me, but most of all, I'm a woman. And, when you have those skills, you use them. That's what we're supposed to do.
yeah, it's a part of our biological makeup too.
Mm-hmm.
And studies have shown this about the woman's brain. Why it's not just that we as women are created to recreate humans, which no other creature does in the cosmos, okay, but us. But we also have this incredible brain in the way that it's made, and it's densely packed. Okay, so like the difference between our brain and a man's brain is that, let's say a man's brain is kind of like Wyoming, big open spaces and stuff. It's like that, but our brain is like New York. It's a smaller state, but it's densely packed with all of this information and all of these things going on all the time. So you can see the difference. It's not like Mia said, it's not about bashing as much as about we have a different mandate. And what I'm trying to do, and what I wanted Mia to help me do today, is help women to get to understand that walking into your power is not something that you ask for. It's something you do, because we're not just um, whatever your biblica tells you, or whatever your religion believes, or whatever your society is, or whatever. We are really physically made up to be able to do all of these magnificent things, and we've been told that we're less than, and we started to believe it. So that's why, Mia, I really want you to talk about some of the adversity that you've gone through and overcome in this past couple of years, and how you've done it, and what um, the importance of taking those leaps of faith.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to share that. I wanted to expand on what Lev was saying though about the idea of, because society has put the pressure on us as women to be more subdued, to not show our power. So many times we have it inside of us. We truly have it inside of us, but it lays dormant or it's not used because we don't want to be looked at as being loud or being knowledgeable, for even, for saying that, because, educated women are not always looked at as being a great thing. They're looked at as being, bitchy, know-it-alls, whereas men that are knowledgeable or educated are much, looked at in society as being, very successful, very, other things. So it's just a completely different dynamic for a woman to be in that situation. Definitely. Definitely.
Yes. And we don't have to ask anymore. That's where we're at. That's why we're here talking to you today, because we're not asking. I don't ask to be to have power. I have it and I step into it. And that's why I wanted you guys to get the difference between being empowered, which a lot of different companies talk about. Oh, we're going to empower you. We're going to empower you. I don't need you to empower me, boo. I'm already powerful. I just needed to step into it. And here I am. Hey, what up?
Yeah.
And it really, and we have to start to get that, all the name calling and shit is because we also taught men to name call us. All right. They do it too on their own.
We allowed it. Yeah. We allowed it. Whatever we allow society to do is what will continue to happen. If we don't let our voice be heard, if we don't say, I'm sorry, I would like you to hear my point at this point, I need to be heard, then that will continue. That dynamic will continue if we don't stop that. Definitely.
Yes. Definitely. So tell us, Mia, tell us some of what happened, this past couple of years, how you did what you did with your little powerful self.
Well, over the last couple of years, I have gone through a divorce. I was married for, I was with my husband for 27 years. I was married for 25 years. I just recently, my divorce, in fact, was final on December 31st at 11:59. Okay. So it's real exciting. I have my true independence, but it's been like a 2.5 year process, like Love was saying. So it's been a very, very exciting thing. I think that power that Love was talking about has been instilled in me with the self-confidence and the self-image that I have. My parents help instill in me as a young child. You kind of have two choices. I had the idea I could have totally crawled in my bed and be in a fetal position, but I truly decided that I wanted to do more. I wanted to be able to, that doesn't mean I didn't cry, and that doesn't mean that I didn't, think, what the heck is going on with me? Of course, that's how I felt. But my two choices were, failure isn't an option. So, okay, dust yourself off, move on. So, over this 2-year period, I have passed my board exam. I have been a social worker. I have been a clinical social worker for over 11 years. I now have passed my board exam. And in August, as I had stated earlier, I opened my own private practice.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I'm super excited. I have my little cards here with my little logo. So it's my cue. Now that I have my,
show us the prescription pad too. That is,
this is my prescription pad, which is kind of nice because it has my picture on it and it has all my information. And so when the doctors just have to just rip it off and they just hand it to the potential client. So it's kind of nice. So I'm really excited about that. And so it was the thing that was really nice was the idea that I kind of put it in perspective of, you kind of have to put things out into the world, and if it's meant to be, it will happen. And so literally in my small little town, I said, if I'm going to have an office, it's either going to be in this building or this building. And I went there, and there was 2 offices, and I wanted them to be right next to each other because I have a play therapy office, and I have an additional office like for everybody else that doesn't want to do play therapy. And that means that I might have adults that work with clay or draw, or I mean, hey, there's nothing wrong with doing, what do you want to say, crayons, using crayons and coloring. Awesome. So literally, it's just been one thing after another. Started my own corporation. Here's a really good thing. Got my checkbook back. Had my ability to not just have allowance anymore. Like, I knew how much money I make. I know how to pay my own bills again. I know how to do all these things. And did I have the ability to do that? Of course I had the ability to do that. But it was a heck of a lot easier just to let my man do it than to have me do it. And therefore, but I have it back. And I want to say to you that it will never be like that again. It will never happen like that again. I will never lose my power again. I will never give up on that again.
And you know what, Mia? It's so funny that you would say it that way, because I was single first, right? For those 20-something years. And then I got married. And my husband doesn't have an idea how much money is in the bank, none of that shit, because I don't know. Don't nobody mess with my money, my kids, or my husband. Don't nobody mess with none of that. That's dead in the water. We don't do any of that. Okay. And you don't mess with my business. So like, once we get that, we have this power that's inside of us, and it hasn't been cultivated, because I think that's what happened. You said something that I hear a lot of women say. You said, like, lost your power. And I think a lot of women feel that way, like they lost themselves, they lost their power. And I want to see what you think about me saying this. I don't think that women lose their power. I think what we do is we stuff it down with hurt and pain and betrayals and things like that have happened to us.
And I'm so glad that you said that, because when I heard you say that to me, I was like, ooh, that didn't feel good. That I, even though I know I said that didn't feel good to me, that that I said that, because I was like, wait, I don't think I ever really lost my power. I think it was more of the idea of, it was a lot easier for me to just do that than to actually, but it still existed.
Yes.
I still had my power. I just chose to maybe not give it away, but just kind of assign it to someone else for a moment. But still, I mean, don't get me wrong. I had the ability to be able to say what I needed to say. I've always been very good at communicating. However, when it came to finances and such, it was just easier for me, while I was going through all my education, to just say, I didn't even know how much I made every month. When I went to buy I bought my own car. Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
So when I went,
do you have a picture of the car? The Mercedes is bad as hell. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's bad as hell. It's bad as hell.
I bought a new Mercedes myself. Yes, it was very nice. But when I went to buy my new car, they were like, "How much money do you make?" And I said, "Hold on one second." Like, I honestly had no idea. I had to go into my bank thing. Like, I didn't know how much I made. And that's like, that was, I mean, in itself, it was very much of of awakening. And I said to myself, and it wasn't that my husband like hid it from me. It just wasn't important to me. And why is that not important? Why is that? Because maybe society was saying you shouldn't worry about that. Maybe, that's his job. But yet I was making the money. Why am I not gonna find out how much I'm making? And it was almost like I was volunteering. And I mean, I didn't go without that. Don't get me wrong, but it's more of the idea of, you don't ever give that away again. You need to know what's happening.
Yes. And I tell you something, Mia, like, my husband's the opposite, because he's like, okay, how much money do we have in the bank? I'm like, you don't know? Oh, whatever.
If you don't know, then you don't need to know.
You don't want to know. That's how, that's how I see it. And I think, one of the things that we're saying here is that we want women to also take responsibility for the part you play. And that's what Mia's been doing. She's been taking responsibility for the part she played in her own life and
Absolutely.
how it was constructed.
No, absolutely. And I take full responsibility for, I didn't say, my husband is the one that kept me from doing it. It just,
Yes.
it was easier like that. But
Yes.
now that I have, I mean, it's like, my mom says, it's like I say, I am woman, hear me roar, because now it's like I have found my place again, and now it's, it's all about the me and how it's going to work.
And so, as you're talking about that, you said something else that I thought was so very important, and I want us to get this too about our power. I said to you guys that we have a different mandate than what men do. It doesn't. They have what they do, and we have what we do, and I really like that, Mia, you were saying, yes, you felt the way you did. You had times when you cried. You had times when you had to let things out. You had times when maybe you were angry or whatever it was. But you acknowledge those feelings. And something else we think of as women is when we say you have power, that you don't show that you have feelings, or feelings are a bad thing. No, they're not a bad thing. They help you to decide what's really going on in your life. The thing we say in Agape Intelligence is you need to verify those feelings and see that they're facts, because feelings are different than facts. You can feel the way you do and have the emotions that you do, but that doesn't necessarily make it a fact and makes it the way you feel. But you also have to acknowledge the way you feel and be okay with that. Sometimes I'm fucking pissed off. Okay. It's just that simple. And I don't, like Mia said, she said, she wasn't blaming her husband for that, what she chose to do in the marriage, but she also isn't taking responsibility for what he chose to do either. So, all of those things that you're saying, Mia, those are so important. It keeps, every time we get together and you start talking, I'm like, yeah, and this and yeah, and that. And
well, it's real. And, I had one of my students that asked me one day, hey, Miss Q, I was like, what's up? And she says, hey, did you ever think that maybe you were going through a divorce so that you could better teach us about how that feels, or be able to teach your clients?
Yeah.
I was so overwhelmed. I was like, wow.
That's really interesting.
Can I get back to you like on break on that one? Because now I'm like way overwhelmed on this whole thing, because it's true. I mean, it's you approach things completely different when you've actually walked the walk.
Well, something that's real important too, because I'm always doing these crazy studies. Oh yeah, I just think I'm like, I'm gonna study suffering. I'm gonna find out why we need to suffer. Okay. So, I just want you guys to know too. Let me back up really quick. My daughter came in here. She took my phone away, both of them, and like my iPads and stuff. All I had left was my Apple Watch, and I was trying to make calls and stuff on there.
Oh, love, you're hilarious.
I got issues in the middle of the night. I'm up just studying crazy shit, right? I'm looking.
Yeah, and then you wonder why you got numbers rolling in your mind all the time. That's why, girl.
So here I go. I'm thinking, okay, let's talk about suffering. I do believe that part of why we suffer is just something you just said, Mia. It's because it helps us to understand other people and what they're going through, not to just empathize with them, but to have sympathy for them. And when we go through suffering ourselves, that's the part where people really start to come up with these different charities and things like that to make lives better, because they don't want people to go through what they did. Is that something you see too? Because I often see that with you, but I want to see what you see.
Well, I have really come from the idea of the school of thought that you don't necessarily have to have done what you
Right.
discussed or walked through that, but I can tell you that truly I do come from a different perspective now that I have had different life experiences in my life.
Yes.
If I didn't, then that would mean that I didn't learn or there was no lessons in things.
Yes.
And that's, I can't do that. I am forever learning. I want to be educated for the rest of my life, because then why am I here? Right?
Yes.
So I need to continue to learn what is there, and so from my experience, absolutely, I can understand relationships. This is really funny. I used to say I'm never going to work with couples. Like couple in relationship stuff was not something that I wanted to be interested in. Now I love it.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
the whole idea of it. I
Yes.
love the research of it. I love more. I mean, I always thought communication was important. Oh, girl, communication is so. I mean, I always said it in my classroom, but now it's like, oh, I so get it more now. It's completely different. Completely different.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. We don't have to go through every every different thing, but I think if in terms of if we can start to look at the pain, some of the pain we go through, some of the suffering that we go through, and take it as a lesson, like you said, Mia, and really learn that lesson and then go on to help other people with it,
Mm-hmm.
it just changes everything in the world. And I really do think that's a part of our mandate as women, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to let me see. We were talking, and I wanted to make sure that you talk to everybody about starting your practice. I mean,
Okay.
because that is such. There's so many women out here who really want to. They want to be entrepreneurs and things like that, and it can be done. Women, I'm telling you, it can definitely be done. It's just a different school of thought, but I want you guys to have a listen to Mia about starting her own practice and how
Well,
that really worked for her.
what's really interesting is probably about a year ago, I remember talking to Love about uh, starting a new business or being on the radio or being on television, and I thought to myself, I can't take those chances.
Hmm.
I'm not ready to take those chances. Don't you remember us having that
Yeah,
conversation?
I do. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it was like, what do you mean, Mia? Yeah, you totally can do it. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, oh no, I think I'm gonna be in the safe land and just keep doing what I'm doing. And you're like, no, girl, come on. So I think that the timing of things, passing my board exam, and then, in all honesty, being involved with a really nice group of about 41 people that I attended what was called the Most Awesome Conference, and they helped me. It was in La Jolla, and it was in this home on a hill, and we all got together, and we all are private pay. Now, hear me out.
Mm.
Private pay therapists. We don't take insurance. Okay.
Wow.
Yes. So we actually value ourselves. We value our skill set, what we bring to the table. And they kind of help guide me in the right direction of what we're going to do. But they help me get my domain name. It's what you're actually going to call your business, as well as your website.
Yes.
I built a website. I have cards. I have letterhead. I have everything else. I found the place that I wanted to be. I was able to figure out how to do all these things, and in hindsight, in all honesty, I can't believe. I still think it hasn't hit me. I thought maybe when I got my logo on my door that it would like maybe hit me. But I think it's starting to hit me because I think my life is slowing down enough
Yes.
because I was teaching so many classes and so on and so forth. But now I think it's starting to hit me. So Legal Zoom, you've heard of Legal Zoom, the things on television.
Yes.
Legal Zoom is what I used to get my LLC. So because I have a corporation, I use my wonderful, cute little cards here, Moo, and it's a nice shape. They have all different ones. Vistaprint will do those things. Just figuring out what your niche is, what it is that you are passionate about. You know that saying,
Yes.
figuring out what you're passionate about, and you'll never work a day in your life. I don't work. I mean, I do, and I work hard, but I am excited every morning when I get up about doing what I do, and that's really cool.
See, I just love it because you took everything that happened and you really turned it around. And yes, I a couple of years ago I was like, wait, what? But I also know how daunting it can be to start your own business. And the fact that not only did you start your own business, you really get your worth. And that's something that happens with women when we start our own business. We don't get our worth. I went to coaching to as powerful as I am, I still have this thing where I was taught that you're supposed to give your gift, not really supposed to charge for it or whatever. If you can, if you were blessed with this gift, then you give it to people. And I really had to go to coaching and get that all worked out because I was not charging people what agape intelligence is worth, and it changes lives. And I tell people now it's incredibly expensive. Now I'm running along there around the price of Jimmy Choo shoes an hour. But the difference between me and Jimmy Choo is Jimmy Choo, you can only be cute while you're wearing those shoes. AI, you can be cute 24/7.
All the time. All the time. All the time. It's so true. No, it is so true. And I mean, there is times that, we give our gifts away. We do. Yeah. We do give our gifts away. And I have no problem with that. But truly, it really was a change of mindset. I kept saying, you want me to charge what per hour? Yes. Do you know where I live? I mean, that really was do you know where Merced is? You're like, there's cows out here, The cow's not going to pay me the money. And so,
that makes more money than we did.
A cow they're going to bring me some milk for exchange instead of my hourly rate, right?
Quit tripping. California cows got their own television show and shit.
I know. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like the cow. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But it's an everyday challenge. Is what I wanted to say to you is, we can sit here and say, yeah, well, I'm worth this or that. Oh, when someone calls me, sure, I'm willing. I have sliding scale, and I don't say everybody has to do that, but I only have so many sliding scale places. But that's something I think, especially coming from, where Love and I met. We worked at Golden Valley Health Centers, and we gave of ourselves, and that's why we decided to work there. She and I could work a lot of different places, but we decided that we wanted to help the underserved. So it's changing our mindset into this idea of helping others, yes, but still getting what we deserve at the same time. When people call and say, you don't take insurance, and I said, I don't take that as payment. I will provide you with a super bill in order to be able to do it. To be able to get your reimbursement from your insurance. Yeah. It was just a choice. It was a choice that I decided that I would do. I decided that I don't have to be, my new motto on this chapter of my life is working smarter, not harder. Yeah. And that is something that I truly believe in my heart, that I am going to not have 3 jobs, but still help, still give, but be smarter and actually enjoy this chapter of my life.
And the thing is, Mia, you have clients. There are people who come and get with you because you have an incredible practice going on. So obviously it's more than worth it. Like I expect for you to keep raising your prices every year because every 6 months or whatever it is, because it's more than worth it. And I hear a lot of women on both sides saying this. But I will have women say to me, well, isn't that a lot of money? I mean, wow, you're charging 750 an hour. Actually, I charge 1,000 an hour now. You can't talk to me without it being 1,000 an hour, because what AI does for you is radically life changing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so I worked hard. I put in 30 something years of education and autodidactic education and all of these different things and studies and all of these different things to make sure that you had the most practical and wonderful thing ever in AI that you could use every single day in your everyday life. And so you want me to have to charge only $35 for 30 years of education? I'm a registered nurse too, and I have a bachelor's in psychology and organizational behavior. You are tripping right now.
Well, when I went to this conference and we were talking about it, I have been fortunate at times of getting a massage or going to get my nails done, or, and you say you figure you pay them $45, $50 an hour, a massage, $100 an hour. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but we know, I don't know if you know how many years, but it takes several years for me to be able to do what I do, as well as the life experience that I have. So
Yes.
I really had to think that out. Okay, yeah. But it's still, now it's not a problem for me to quote my hourly rate. But if for a little while I was feeling a little guilty, and then I started thinking, wait, but am I valuing myself in all the years that it took me, and all the years that it took me to be able to even,
Yes.
I had to collect 3,200 hours before I was even able to sit for my board exam. And then you have to take the 2 board exams, and, so on and so forth. So, and then all the education, we forgot about that part, right? So,
yeah.
so,
yeah.
I don't think I actually think about that often because it's done. But we need to always remember what we do, what has
because
taken.
that goes into your pricing.
But that doesn't even matter whether it is education, even as a mother.
Yes.
Remembering that skill set that you bring to the table when maybe it is time for you to go out to the job market, whether it be because of divorce or whether it's your children have gone to school, and now you're ready to challenge yourself also. There's a skill set that comes along with being a parent, with being,
definitely.
And so valuing yourself and figuring out what that next step is and what you're worth. I mean, we know statistically, well, hey, I'm a quote of statistics here. I mean, I know that's not my job, that's yours, but
what?
I got one here.
Quote of statistics.
So men make on average $30,000 more a year than a woman will, doing the exact same job. Okay, the exact same job. Now, mind you, that if there is some kind of tier structure within a organization, that's completely different. But let's just say it doesn't have that kind of thing when you're going in. That's why it's so important that you do know what you're bringing to the table, so that you can say, this is my experience. And why is that? Why is it that the structure is that? Well, one, because we let it. We let it be that way because we're just so happy that we have a job, right? Because we need to either provide for ourselves or our family. Okay.
Right.
That society has said that we are even lucky to be able to be where we are. Oftentimes I think about being a professor standing in front of the classroom. How many years ago would there not have been a woman standing in front of the classroom as a professor? That's that's crazy, right? Okay. Yes. And then, but the idea that we need to not allow that gap to continue. And how do we do that? By continuing with this power idea.
Yes, and that's why it's so important to me. And that okay, so I'm going to bring out. I have a question that I'm going to be asking everybody, whether you come on my radio show or whether you're here on Real Life with Love, 3D TV, and that is, what's the difference, Mia, between power and strength?
Power is power is the ability to do things well, let me put it the other way first. Strength is something that you have, and power is how you choose to use it.
Ooh, I like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, did you guys write that down? Strength is something that you have, and power is how you
choose to
use it.
Mhm.
How you choose to use the strength.
Mhm.
So that is a Mia. Okay, Mia said. Because we have those. Here's what Mia said. The difference was strength is something you have.
Strength is something that you have within you, and power is how you choose to use it.
And power is how you choose to use it. Ooh. I'm gonna have to like put that on Facebook. That Mia said this. This is what Mia said.
And you know what? What's really interesting is that just came out. Like that was in there somewhere.
Okay.
I
love it. I love it. You know, I'm gonna challenge you on it though, because you know that's what I do. That's my favorite. Right? You ready?
Oh well, I have no problem. Hey, I like to be challenged. You know, this
okay.
is learning thing,
okay.
right?
All right.
Go with it. Go with it. Go with it. All right.
I'm gonna do it. Okay, check this out.
Okay.
Earlier you said power is something that we don't think we have within us. And so this time you almost said it again, that it's not that it's strength that we have within us, not necessarily power. Power is how we use it. But actually strength is, we have strength and we're taught more to use the strength, like being resilient or lifting things, or bouncing back from things or things like that. That more has to do with your
strength is more acceptable. Strength is more acceptable because
it's more acceptable, especially in women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're showing power, if you're trying to be overpowering, it's not acceptable.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. So if I said, okay, but power is the ability to influence others' behaviors and their actions, because that's really what power is about. Is yes, I have strength. You can have all the strength all day, but that doesn't mean that you're exercising power. You can be the strongest person in the world. You can lift a building, but that doesn't mean you're exercising power necessarily. But your ability to influence other people and their behavior and in your environment, that's power.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I think that you're absolutely correct. I still think, I think there's tweaking here and there about what you're saying, but I do agree with what you're saying in terms, and I think that it's okay. Like this is a really good idea that in dialogue, when you have this, that we can. And why do I believe the way I believe? Do I believe it because of my life experience? Do I believe it because of my education? Does Love believe what she does because the statistics? What is it, that causes it? I don't think anybody is right and wrong. I think that's what's really good for women to be able to have this dialogue with each other in terms of with women to be able to show what exists within them, and they can call it and use it however it is that they would like to do it.
Yeah, because we don't even talk about it. So you're right. It's so important that we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That we're saying there's power, there's strength, and you have both. That's really what we're telling you. You have both.
Mm-hmm.
I also, before we wrap up, I'm gonna end this with what everybody says. Don't ever talk about politics, and don't ever. The hell with that. I'm talking about politics. This is my life, okay?
This is my life. This is my show, and this is my time. So I'm doing it.
This was Real Life with Love. Okay.
There's a reason why my name is on there right now.
Yeah. And so Mia, I want to hear from you too. I know that, like you said, we have different backgrounds and all of that, and we have different educations and whatever. I mean, we're both very, very powerful and strong women, but
True.
okay, so I'm watching. I'm just telling you guys, Mimi, because I live in Republican hell. Sorry, Mia does too. She's in the Central Valley, but okay. Um, I Not every Republican is a bad person. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I don't say this often, but my husband happens to be Republican, and all right, now you know. Now you know. I'm married to a Republican. I know. I and he always says that
And she's not hanging her head, and she's not going to divorce. It just is what it is. It's almost like, hi, I'm Love, and I'm married to, I don't know what else. Hi, I'm Love, and I'm married to a person that doesn't like dogs. I mean, that's it.
He's a Republican, and I hate to admit it, but it's true. Okay, I'm just saying he's one of those people. He's a Republican. Okay, but
one of those people.
It's not all bad. It's not all bad. Like my aunt said, when I first met him 8 years ago, she goes, "Is he one of us?" And I was like, "What, Democrat?" White.
It was like you were like you came from up in the sky, like from another planet somewhere else. You're one of those.
I just knew he wasn't a black man.
I know, and that's what's so funny. I said he could have picked, like, oh wow, you're an African American woman. Oh wow, we're not the same race. Oh wow, you're a woman. Oh wow, there's all these other things, but he's like, oh wow, you're a Democrat, right?
Well, that's me. You're Republican. Oh my God, don't tell anybody that shit. Oh my God,
you better just move along, dude. I don't care about your color, but I care about you being Republican right now. Okay, move.
What the hell? You were going to tell me that till after we got married?
And then how many years later, look where you're at, right?
I know, look where we're at. So,
and you're having so much fun. You're hurting yourself, and now you got to go have surgery and all that other stuff.
I hurt myself with a Republican. Okay, don't tell me you can't reach across the aisle, boo. I do it all the time.
I'm just saying.
I gotta stop hanging out with you, Mia. That's not cool. Tears. Okay, but okay. So I have to bring this up. I have to say this. Okay, so we're in an election year. Whatever. I'm listening to you damn people talking.
You damn people.
Trump. Okay, I hate to even call him a Republican because that's bad. That's putting Republicans in a really bad place. But okay, whatever. Okay, so I see all of these men up on stage. Carly Fiorina, she wasn't on stage at this point, but I see all these men on stage. They're having their little thing, debate, if you want to call it that. And they're all standing here talking about Planned Parenthood, and all of them are hyping how they shut down Planned Parenthood in their areas, and we defunded it and all this. Let me just tell y'all something. Shut the fuck up and sit the hell down. Who are you to tell me what I'm going to do with my vagina? I don't get on TV and talk to you about Cialis and how you can't have it. So who are you to decide as a man with a penis what the hell I'm supposed to be doing with my vagina? And by the way, there's a whole lot of people that I really love. And I'm going to tell you, Caitlyn Jenner, you are not the woman of the year. Okay, if me and Mia can't be on that list, first of all, I'm sorry. How the hell you the woman of the year? I've been a woman all my life. Okay.
That was really interesting. That was really interesting.
What, Mia? Help me with this.
Part of me wants to be so, the social worker in me wants to be able to handle this in a rational way. But one of my other mottos is you can't make sense out of nonsense.
Okay, so, this boy wasn't even the father of the year. Shouldn't you get to be, okay, you was a father for some time. Shouldn't you be father of the year first or some shit? How you just gonna come and grab woman of the year? know shit about being a woman yet.
Well,
Okay?
not only that, but there are so many amazing women in society that
Yes.
it made a mockery of what a woman is.
Yes.
That's not to say that I am discounting his choice or her choice to become what she is. But I'm saying that it's making a mockery of what a woman is in terms of, I mean, there are many women that have been a woman their whole lives, and
Right.
they have made a difference in society. And for that to take place in that way, I just highly disagree with that,
Yeah.
that determination. I don't think that that was a great way to, the first thing in my mind, I'll be honest and said, how much did he have to pay for that? Like, how much did he have to give in order for him to get that designation? Because,
He's a Republican. I didn't want to tell you.
well, we all know that that's how it all goes down. I say it in the classroom all the time. It's who has whose money, who's scratching who's back, and who's doing whoever. And we can take that however you want to say it. Yeah. So
I didn't want to tell you, Mia. I didn't want to break that to you, but I just want you to know she is a Republican. But I on the real, I really have. That's been upsetting to me. That not so much that was just like whatever, but that we again as women, we're allowing men to stand up and decide for us what we're gonna do. You're shutting down something that has to do with women's health.
yeah.
And you're like, oh, and I'm good with that and all this stuff. You don't get to decide that. You don't get to decide shit about my vagina. Okay.
Well, yeah, and it's not necessarily about, because people are caught up in abortion because they equal Planned Parenthood with abortion. They don't think about all the other
breast exams, pap smears.
Exactly. There's so many other things that other health issues that are addressed at Planned Parenthood. It isn't just abortion. And if those things aren't addressed, frankly, it's going to affect a man too, because if a woman, let's say, is with another partner and gets an STI and she's with you, maybe that Republican needs to be thinking, should I be closing down a Planned Parenthood when you end up with, X, Y, and Z, because you might be walking around with a part of you that doesn't look quite good because you decided to close down Planned Parenthood.
Well, I kind of think it's the other way around. They're the ones going around giving stuff because, we've known that not just Republicans, but Democrats too have had girlfriends that they've sent to Planned Parenthood, but yet they have a problem with Planned Parenthood. So it's really interesting, the underlying and behind the scenes stuff that goes on, and it's unreal. But I'm saying to us as women, you do have power and strength, and it's time for you to stand in your power, okay, and make decisions about yourself. And no man gets to make a decision about your body. No one, no man.
Ever. Okay. That means even sex. That means having sex with your boyfriend, having sex with your husband.
Yes.
No one is entitled to your body unless you would like to give it to them. And that's a huge concept that not all women understand. That just because somebody puts a wedding band on your finger, or you walk down the aisle, or you say I do, you don't have to give your body to anyone ever. It's not an obligation. It's yours. You only have one, and you give it away when you want to.
Yes. Yes. So, you know what, Mia? Tell everybody where they can reach you again before we wrap up.
Sure. Okay. Well, I am in Merced, California. My telephone number is 209-819-9939. And my website, which has all the information about my practice and my wonderful things that I can do, is www.counselingmerced.com. And I would look forward to talking with you about any kind of challenges that you have going on in your life.
Thank you so much, Mia. I really appreciate you being on here today. I've been having the best time, of course, with you. And you guys, if you didn't know, I'm like laid up with my knee up and doing all my stuff, and we're gonna be on again in the morning, and then I'm going back to bed because what, I am in pain. What? It's so much fun being in pain with Mia though. Like this was the best. I took some pain medicine and just before, like Mia and I were talking, I was like, Mia, if I fall asleep.
I said, I got you, girl. I'll just take it over. I'll just turn the camera around. All right. Well, if Love was here, she would ask me this question. But, you know, since she's not here, I'll just take over the show.
So I'm glad we both made it through. I'm really glad we both made it through.
I am as well, and I wouldn't want to make it through with anybody else. You know, we have such a wonderful history on my red couch, at work, and all those wonderful things that maybe someone heard about on our radio, on your radio program. But yes, we have many, fun conversations, and I hope to have many more with you, girl.
Of course, my darling, you're our resident therapist. Of course, we have to find you to come on and tell us all about how we need to fix things. So thank you so much, my love. And thank you, fam, for coming and being here with us in Real Life with Love 3D TV. I will check you out in the morning. And we're going to do a replay of this show with our Mia Q, our resident therapist. Love you guys so much. Check you later.